In the realm of dating and relationships, understanding human emotions is key. Today, we delve into the psychology behind emotional influence. Welcome to Top Rack Facts, where we'll uncover 10 tactics used to manipulate emotions and shedding light on the darker side of psychology. Remember, this knowledge is for educational purposes only. Ethical behavior and mutual respect should always be paramount in any relationship. I'm your guide through the intricate world of emotional influence. Today, we'll explore tactics that, when used unethically, can manipulate emotions. Let's dive into the psychology behind it. Tactic 1. Love bombing. Love bombing involves overwhelming someone with affection and attention. This tactic quickly creates an intense emotional connection, making the person feel exceptionally valued. The manipulator showers their target with compliments, gifts, and constant communication, making them feel like they are the center of the world. This rapid and intense affection can be intoxicating, leading the target to lower their defenses and become emotionally dependent on the manipulator. However, this tactic often has a dark side. Once the target is emotionally hooked, the manipulator may begin to withdraw or become controlling. Using the initial affection as leverage. Understanding the signs of love bombing can help individuals recognize and avoid this manipulative trap. Tactic 2. Gaslighting. Gaslighting is a psychological tactic where one person makes another doubt their reality. It involves lying, denying, and manipulating facts to make the other person question their sanity. This tactic is named after the 1944 film Gaslight, where a husband manipulates his wife into believing she is losing her mind. In relationships, gaslighting can manifest as denying past events, trivializing the other person's feelings, or insisting that the other person is overreacting. Over time, the victim may begin to doubt their memory, perception, and even their sanity, becoming increasingly reliant on the manipulator for a sense of reality. Recognizing gaslighting involves paying attention to patterns of denial and distortion and trusting one's perception and feelings. Tactic 3. Playing hard to get. Playing hard to get creates a sense of challenge and intrigue. It triggers the chase mentality, making the other person more invested in winning affection. This tactic involves deliberately creating a sense of scarcity by being less available, not always responding immediately, and maintaining an air of mystery. The psychology behind this tactic lies in the principle of scarcity. People tend to value and desire what seems difficult to obtain. By appearing less accessible, the manipulator increases their perceived value, making the target more eager and motivated to pursue them. While this tactic can create excitement and anticipation in the early stages of dating, it can also lead to frustration and insecurity if used excessively. Tactic 4. Emotional withdrawal. Withdrawing affection or communication can create anxiety and insecurity. This tactic makes the other person crave the emotional connection they've temporarily lost. The manipulator may suddenly become distant, stop responding to messages, or show less interest, leaving the target feeling confused and anxious. This withdrawal can make the target feel as though they have done something wrong, prompting them to seek reassurance and validation. The sudden absence of emotional support can create a sense of panic, making the target more willing to comply with the manipulator's demands in order to restore the connection. Recognizing emotional withdrawal involves understanding its cyclical nature and maintaining a sense of self-worth independent of the manipulator's behavior. Tactic 5. Triangulation. Triangulation involves bringing a third person into the dynamic to create jealousy and competition. This tactic can make someone feel the need to prove their worth. The manipulator may talk about another person in flattering terms, compare their target to this third person, or even involve them directly in interactions. The goal is to provoke feelings of rivalry and insecurity, making the target feel they must compete for the manipulator's attention and approval. This can lead to increased effort and devotion from the target, who is now motivated by the fear of losing the manipulator to someone else. Recognizing triangulation involves being aware of unnecessary comparisons and understanding the manipulator's intent to create division and dependency. Tactic 6. Mirroring. Mirroring is mimicking someone's behavior, interests, and values. This creates a sense of familiarity and trust, making the other person feel understood and connected. The manipulator observes and replicates the target's body language, speech patterns, likes and dislikes, creating an illusion of similarity. This tactic leverages the psychological principle of similarity, which states that people are more likely to feel comfortable and form connections with those who are like them. By appearing to share common interests and values, the manipulator can quickly build rapport and trust, making the target more open and vulnerable. Recognizing mirroring involves noticing excessive similarities and questioning the authenticity of the connection. Tactic 7. Hot and cold behavior. Alternating between affection and indifference creates emotional confusion. This inconsistency makes the other person more desperate for validation. The manipulator may shower the target with love and attention one moment, only to become distant and unresponsive the next. This erratic behavior keeps the target on edge, constantly seeking to regain the manipulator's approval and affection. The unpredictability can lead to heightened emotional dependency, as the target becomes fixated on the moments of warmth and tries to avoid the periods of coldness. Recognizing hot and cold behavior involves observing patterns of inconsistency and understanding the manipulator's intent to create emotional turmoil and control. Tactic 8. Future faking. Future faking involves making false promises about a shared future. This tactic gives the other person hope and investment in a relationship that may never materialize. The manipulator talks about future plans, such as moving in together, getting married, or traveling, to create a sense of commitment and anticipation. These promises make the target feel secure and invested in the relationship, often leading them to overlook red flags or make sacrifices. However, the manipulator has no intention of following through on these promises, using them instead to maintain control and prolong the relationship. Recognizing future faking involves being cautious about grand promises and looking for consistent actions that align with words. Tactic 9. Guilt tripping. Using guilt to manipulate emotions involves making the other person feel responsible for your feelings or actions. This tactic leverages their sense of empathy and duty. The manipulator may express disappointment, sadness, or even anger, implying that the target's actions have caused these negative emotions. By doing so, the manipulator creates a sense of obligation in the target, who feels compelled to make amends and meet the manipulator's demands to alleviate the guilt. This can lead to the target prioritizing the manipulator's needs over their own and feeling trapped in a cycle of guilt and appeasement. Recognizing guilt tripping involves understanding the manipulator's intent to control through emotional burden. Tactic 10. Emotional invalidation. Invalidating someone's feelings makes them doubt their emotions and seek validation. This tactic undermines their confidence and makes them more dependent on the manipulator. The manipulator may dismiss the target's emotions as irrational, overreactive, or unimportant, causing the target to question their own feelings and perceptions. Over time, the target may become increasingly reliant on the manipulator for emotional validation and support, losing confidence in their own judgment. This dependency allows the manipulator to exert greater control over the target's emotions and actions. Recognizing emotional invalidation involves affirming one's own feelings and seeking support from trusted individuals outside the manipulative relationship. Understanding these tactics gives insight into the darker side of emotional influence. While it's crucial to recognize these behaviors, it's equally important to foster relationships built on respect and genuine connection. Use this knowledge ethically and remember, manipulation is never a foundation for a healthy relationship. If you found this exploration into dark psychology insightful, don't forget to like this video, share it, and check out one of these other videos for more deep dives into the world of human behavior. Knowledge is power. Use it wisely.